on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app.
O'Connor and Company.
It is 7:06 here on O'Connor and Company this Tuesday morning, 28th day of November. Boy, it's just flying by, isn't it? It's Larry O'Connor alongside Patrice Onwuka. And Patrice, we've got company.
Yes, we do.
Coming up at 7:35, we're going to speak with Elizabeth McGeegan. She's with Philanthropy Roundtable to talk about Giving Tuesday today. And then at 8:05, our pal Sean Spicer. Talk about the news and politics of the day going into the holiday season. But right now, we're joined by a politician in the Emerald Isle. It's our second favorite country, Ireland is.
We have a lot of connections. Our
we do.
co-host is there right now.
Our lovely friend Julie Gunlock is there, leaving her mark on Ireland. I was just there I've been there twice this summer. And so it was devastating to see Dublin erupt in violence this week and to see the politicians, their answer seems to be to silence people's right to petition and complain about their government services and cut back on all that free speech. Gavin Pepper joins us now. He's a politician in Ireland. And, yeah, the problem there in Ireland is y'all are getting too mouthy, I guess, and you don't let your betters in the government take care of things for you, Gavin.
How are you doing, Larry and Patrice? Good morning, and thanks for having me on. I'm only going to explain to you exactly what's going on. Most of your listeners wouldn't know my neighbourhood. It's not on the bus tour of Ireland like the lakes of Killarney or the cliffs of Moher. It's a working class neighbourhood. I'm from Finglas, where the people stick together for generations. I'm a working class man, and I've been twisted into politics because not one single party in our country will stand up to the EU or the UN, who are forcing the very third world cheap labour into my neighbourhood. Last week, a Muslim immigrant who had been arrested for knife crime 6 months ago, who was arrested in order to be deported 20 years ago, but attacked the children and teachers of a preschool, slashing their throats. Immediately thereafter, in order to keep the entire nation from exploding in anger, the government and the government-run media, because they won't let us speak out, the state-owned Irish radio and TV network began to craft a narrative that champions the good immigrants who had a minor role in stopping the attack and ignored the Irishman who was the attacker and got the knife from his hand. This is the reason behind the hate speech law that you asked me on the show.
Yeah.
In every little town and village in the working-class neighbourhoods of Ireland, fake refugees are being dumped onto the locals who are expected to house them, feed them and hire them. The ruling class of Ireland just wants more compliant type of worker and voter. Scope of the problem. In just 20 years, the population of our country has increased from 4 million to 5.3 million. That's a 20% increase, Larry, in less than a single generation. Most of that is due to migration. To compare it, if the United States welcomed 100 million to its shores, that would have been the equivalent of adding 2.5 Californias or almost 3 Texases in only 2 decades.
Yeah, it's
the world media is echoing the Irish media, saying that the far right are to blame, which is a total joke. These people are breaking points, struggling with the high cost of living and being asked to subsidise the welfare of third world welfare chiefs, who are also committing heinous crimes. Recently, 2 gay men from Sligo were lured to their deaths by an Iraqi migrant who took off their heads. Yesterday, an Egyptian migrant stabbed a Somalian migrant in Wexford. 60 vets who were brought terrorism charges. Of course, people are angry. There is a shortage of housing and good jobs, and these migrants take up housing and undercut the Irishman and women for jobs. Yeah. We are a largely rural community with a tiny police force, and every type of organised criminal has invaded alongside and within these migrant groups. In my neighbourhood, we have been peacefully protesting the crime and misbehaviour for over these refugee camps. Now,
Gavin,
I want to jump in here, Gavin.
Yeah, I think you're making a really strong case for why, number one, these policies that don't respect this natural citizens, that don't respect even the legal immigrants, and just are taking in too many outsiders who have ideologies that run counter to just your natural values is destructive. Now, talk to me about the way the media is covering this and the narrative that's being woven, because here in the United States, what we're getting is that it's an angry mob of like isolationists and racists who don't want asylum seekers to be in your to be in your neighborhoods, and that's what this is about. But you're saying it's different, right?
And to be clear, Mr. Pepper, they keep saying far-right racists,
racist,
and they call you anti-immigrant. I haven't heard you say anything anti-immigrant. You're anti-immigration policies that have destroyed your city.
Well, the truth is, guys, that we're the most welcoming nation in the world. We welcome refugees and people from all over the country, or all over the world. Because people walking from different countries in Ireland for years. This has nothing to do with racism at all. The government, I'm serious, guys. It's like living in China at the moment. They're trying to pass these hate speech laws, and they don't want people like me to speak out. I'm just a taxi driver. I'm just a working class dad with kids. We have 3 daughters. My job is to protect my daughters. I mean, to break it down for you, right? You are in America and you have immigrants coming into America. You have the same bit of problem. So let's just say it this way. We have 13,000 Irish homeless families living in emergency accommodation, 4,000 kids, right? We have Irish people sleeping in tents, while illegal male migrants from other countries are getting housed in hotels with breakfast, lunch, dinner, gas, ESB, free accommodation, and they can work. And if you put that into comparison to America, Mexicans or whatever from other countries are coming into America, how do you feel that homeless American vet who was fought for his country is on the street and you give him the odd book here or you give him a cup of coffee and he's on the street and the government are housing migrants? So that's not fair. How does that sound fair to anyone? It's nothing to do with racism.
Unfortunately, frankly, it's happening. What you just laid out is happening in New York City. It's happening in Chicago. It's happening in a lot of cities where illegal migrants are being catered to by local governments because of the policies. Yeah. So I think across the pond, we see what you're seeing.
And tax-paying citizens are being ignored and told to shut up. And we see how the media spins this story. But your government, your prime minister, they're saying the real problem here is you, because you took to social media and asked people to protest and take to the streets, and they're saying that you incited violence. How do you respond to them?
It's nonsense. We're peaceful protesters. This all started in East Wall, when the people first came out, when the migrants were pushed into the communities. We've had over 200 peaceful protests constantly across the city. It's nonsense. The Irish government don't want you to speak out. They really don't. I don't condone any violence. That's not what we're about. We're just genuine people that want to keep our community safe. The Irish government, Helen McEntee, wants to push through this hate speech law because that they can pacify the population and keep them quiet. It isn't really a hate speech law. It's a law the Irish government will use to silence all political opposition. 1 year in jail, guys, for turning over the password. You don't turn over your password to the police. Political memes. So if you make a funny meme on your phone, you reduce the issue. If you would, that'd be criminally punished.
Yeah. Listen, you've got the richest man in the world on your side on that one. Even Elon Musk drew attention to it. Well, Gavin Pepper, stay in touch with us, please. We do love your country. We love the city of Dublin, and listen, I'm the result of Irish immigration here in America, and it's true that Ireland is the most welcoming country on the planet. Next to America, if I may. But there also needs to be some regulations. There needs to be some sanity. And it's amazing how this overwhelming percentage of so-called asylum seekers finding their way to your country, Ireland, are all young men of working age who are just flooding the population right now. And as you say, working class Irishmen are being left in the dust.
Exactly. Like it doesn't affect the rich people. It doesn't affect the well-to-do. And we have no opposition in the Dáil. I swear to God, it's extreme censorship. So, it's just we have no resources. Yeah. We live in deprived areas. So there's not enough school places. There's not enough doctor's appointments. The hospital lists are through the wall. It's insane.
Gavin,
and you say,
when's your next election cycle?
Next May.
May. Oh, next May. All right. Well, this is gonna brew. You've got several months. I only wish you had. I was just, as I mentioned, I was in Ireland. I was looking for news talk radio where you know what we do here, and we take calls from listeners who want to voice their opinion, and we're able to express ourselves. You don't really have this kind of outlet there that I'm aware of, do you? Other than the internet.
No, we don't have. We only have a mainstream media. You have Fox News and CNN. Ireland just has this one-way narrative. If you don't agree with them, they'll call you far right.
Yeah.
That's it.
Wow.
Now, if you were to ask, how can Americans, because we need your help, we need America's help. We went back in the past to America, we built America, and we need your help. So how could you help us? Well, first of all, tell your American citizens to stop going on holiday to their country till it's safe, because it's not safe for It's not safe for Irish people, let alone American citizens. So that's one issue. Another issue, what you need to do is when our politicians like Sinn Féin, Fianna Fáil go over to the USA on Patrick's Day with the Shamrock Bowl looking for money, don't give them any money. Don't give their politicians money. This is the problem. We need you to help. We do. And it's great that you have voice in it and you're letting us speak out, because we can't go on to mainstream media. RTE would never let me on that show. This is what's wrong.
Yeah. Well, you're being heard in Washington, D.C. right now by a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that your message is getting out there, Gavin Pepper. And it looks like you've got Nigel Farage speaking out on your behalf and your cause as well. That's going to amplify things over in England. And we'll keep getting the word out there. Our heart is with you. It's hard for us not to visit, though. We're going to have to pray about that one. But in the meantime, I hope you have a great day. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me on, Glenn.
You're
God
welcome.
bless you.
Same back at you. It's 7:18. Let's get straight to Jamie Whitten now in the